So are we good, Mackenzie? Do you want it up higher? Is that okay? That's fine? Thanks.
No. Did you?
Welcome, everyone. Hi, welcome. Welcome to Dundas St United Church. I'm Reverend Susie Cameron in ministry here with our folk. So welcome to come to be part of the concert. It's a free concert. We're doing donations to Sakura House. If you would like to do that, you're more than welcome to do that. Sakura is our local hospice, just not far from here. If you see the Toyota plants, you know you're close by. So we're very happy to have a hospice. We're very lucky in our community to have a hospice. Housekeeping. There are 2 washroom opportunities on this level, a male and a female, and then downstairs in our brown hall. The first hall you come to is green, second hall past the industrial kitchen is our brown hall, and there are 3 washroom opportunities down there. So you're welcome for that. And that's my part. He doesn't often talk in church, but sometimes he does, but now we're going to let Grant talk.
Good evening, everybody. She said I'm Grant Cameron, and yes, it is the same last name because I am married to the Reverend Susan here. And we are really happy to be here, and thank you for having us. Eric said at one rehearsal, we need one more concert, we need to go somewhere. So I talked to Susan, and here we are. So anyway, I have a few things to talk about. First, a little bit about the opening piece we played, Under the Double Eagle. Composed in 1893 by Australian military bandmaster Joseph Franz Wagner, this march has become one of the most enduring and widely recognized works in the international band repertoire. Written in E-flat major with a contrasting A-flat major. Again, I said before, I don't really know what that means, but Eric will explain it to you if you need it. It captures the stately grandeur and rhythm and vitality of the late 19th century Austro-Hungarian military music. The title refers to the two-headed eagle, the historic emblem of the Australian-Hungary Empire, symbolizing unity and imperial strength. This march has gained popularity across Europe and later in the United States, where it became a favorite of John Philip Sousa, whose band recorded it multiple times. By the 30s, it had become crossed into country and western swing, becoming a standard among fiddlers and guitarists, most famously revived by Doc Watson in 1960. I looked it up how many times on Apple Music this song is played in country and western. It's incredible. And the guitar playing is quite amazing. Anyway, today it remains a staple for concert bands, brass ensembles, solo performers all around the world. So, second part here. You're probably wondering, who are these people playing this music? We are called Once a Quartet. Again, it's a name that sometimes we have to explain, but it did start off as a quartet. 4 people started this band, and it has grown and grown and grown, obviously. So that's how we got our name, because we started as a quartet. Long before my time, the quartet, but anyway, that's how it started. We are part of the New Horizons program that is operated under out of Western University and the New Horizons International Program. New Horizons is a worldwide program that runs music instruction for all over the world, and for people like me who played saxophone through high school and then took 35, 40 years off and then decided I wanted to play again, so you can come back. Western's program, or our program, has right from beginner instruction right through till we get to a level sort of like this band, which is a more advanced level. We have, must be 5 concert bands if you include beginners, and yeah, and jazz band, and Lost at Sea, that's the jazz band, yes. So that's what the program is. Again, if anybody's interested in playing the music and learning again, I know it's harder for you folks in Woodstock to come to London, but it's a wonderful program, instructed by very wonderful people. So the third part of this is, I get the great honor of introducing our conductor. Mr. Eric Heidelheim is the man. He is a teacher, he's an arranger, he's a you can play faster, he's a you can keep yourselves organized, motivated, or occasionally remind us to practice at home. He's just really the driving force behind this particular band, and it's, this is my first year playing with this group, and it's been a thrill to playing with these people, and of course with Eric. So I'll turn it over now to Mr. Eric Heidelberg. Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah. Sorry, a few thank yous. Obviously, thank you to Dundas St United Church for allowing us to do this. Thank you to Jerry back there. He's our videographer. He's helped us get the chairs organized, the stage organized. He's cleared stuff. He's been there for everything we need. Up there is Mackenzie. He's running the sound for us, which we thank him for that. We have photographers around. We have so all sorts of people. Puts it on Facebook for you, and I guess the recording's going on YouTube. I don't. Yeah. So anyway, I don't know if you guys knew that, but you're going to be on YouTube. So anyway, Eric, it's all yours.
Well, thank you very much, Grant, and thank you, everybody. We're so glad to be here in Woodstock to have a chance to play for you in this beautiful church. The next piece we are going to play, I think, is very appropriate for this space. This is from Cantata 140, in German, Waket auf, ruft uns die Stimme, which is often translated in English as Awake, the voice is calling us, by, of course, the great Johann Sebastian Bach. Let me tell you a little bit about his life and the fruition of this piece. Bach spent the last 27 years of his life as Kapellmeister at St. Thomas Church in Leipzig. Basically, he was the music director. It was a position with which he was never entirely happy. He frequently argued with the authorities there, and eventually also took on other work in the city of Dresden. We recognize Bach today as one of the great geniuses of all time, but the people working with him at the time, they didn't know that. They didn't understand that. And so he had a lot of political battles to fight in his jobs. As part of his Leipzig contract, he had to provide music for Sunday service cycles of cantatas. Cantatas are like small-scale religious operas, and Bach churned out masterpieces, one after the other, every Sunday. Many of them have not survived until this day, but many have. And thank goodness, Cantata 140 has. It was based on the Lutheran chorale by Philipp Nicolai, and it is just gorgeous. So we hope you enjoy our performance of Sleeper's Wake by Johann Sebastian Bach.
Very good. Thank you, sir. Just got to figure out how to turn this on.
shoe. This might be a soft shoe, anyway. This is actually International Dance Day, and I'm pretty excited about this day because that's how my parents met. They were dance instructors on the side. One was an immigrant from the Ukraine and the other from England. They met in a German part of Kitchener, and the accents were the attraction. Nobody wanted to dance with them because they had accents. Anyway, I just think that's kind of cool that this next number we're going to perform is called Singing in the Rain, and it's 1929 when a lot of the immigrants are coming over to look for work, and there was Tin Pan Alley happening down in New York, and this is how it evolved. So I'm going to do a little song and dance here first, not song, just a dance. So here we go. Okay. So, what a glorious feeling. I'm happy again. Singing in the Rain is about emotional resilience, from feeling gloomy to glorious. So we've all had some gloomy days, and we've had glorious days. Well, it didn't matter. If you imagine puddles and rain everywhere, you can splash and jump in puzzles and you feel great. I still do that, don't I, Dawn? Jump in the puddles.
I went home.
So sometimes people meet and they are the dream team. So the dream team in 1929 was Arthur Freed and Nacio Herb Brown. And they were part of the Tin Pan Alley scene, and they were reaming out sheets and sheets of music. And one of them became a pop song, Singing in the Rain. However, nobody had any rights to these songs. So many people were taking the songs and making it their little picture, silent movie, somebody playing Singing in the Rain in the background, and nobody had rights to the music, but Arthur and Nacio Herb Brown, smart guys, one was a real estate agent, musician, and the other a real business mind, said, I think we should probably get involved with getting some, reap some benefits from this song that seems to be so popular. Well, doesn't Arthur Freed go and approach MGM and say, I got a song for you, and I'm going to bring a few guys with me. They're like extra spicy. There was Donald O'Connor and Debbie Reynolds and Gene Kelly. So, Gene Kelly was the selling feature. So now, throughout those decades when people were trying to find work, well, these guys are like making big bucks in musicals. And Singing in the Rain was one of the big hits. And the other date that this all happened was 1952, which is exciting for me because that's when my dad came over from England. And so 29, my mom's family from the Ukraine, and 52, my dad. So those two dates are really important to me, especially since today is International Dance Day, in case you wanted to know. Anyway, Brown had transitioned as from a real estate agent, decided, I might be make some money as a musician. Smart guy. So these pop songs were thrown together into a musical called Singing in the Rain. They had all their sheet music, at least 5 songs, and MGM was like, this is great, we're making money, and people could afford to go to the pictures, but maybe not to Broadway. So this was a real way to bring in some clients that otherwise wouldn't be able to come. So then, we go to 62, then we have our arranger, and his name is Michael Brown. He was born in New Orleans, and he had dazzled the music industry with theme songs from The Tonight Show and the Winter Olympics, and he became the chief arranger for the United States military, and he's still doing that. So he was the guy that decided he might be able to make a living at arranging for schools and community bands. So the song you're going to hear us play, Singing in the Rain, has been arranged by Michael Brown, and he is very good at featuring every group. So you're not going to just hear the trumpets playing all the time or the flutes. It's going to be, we'll be shifting from one group to another. So, with that note, enjoy our glorious feeling and feel happy again.
Very good. Let's hear it for our drummer, Sean Beasley.
Hello everyone, my name is Jonathan, I'm a trumpet player. So they said that tango is a sad thought, that is a dance, but today as a band we want to show you that is also a powerful emotion that can be felt and shared through every note. We are about to perform a little tango music by Adam Gore. This piece is a journey. It begins a soft, nostalgic whisper, but then suddenly awakens with all the fire and energy and of the night in Buenos Aires. As a Latino here, playing these rhythms on this stage here in Canada is very special to me. It's about the passion here and the joy of sharing song from the South. It reminds us that from South to the North, we are all one America. And music is the bridge that connects our roots. So please get comfortable, fit the beard, and let the spirit of tango take over. Thank you.
Nancy, next time we'll have you dance the tango.
Hi, my name is David, and this is my first year with Once a Quartet, and I'm having a fantastic time, and it's my honor to introduce the next piece. Our next number, Anything Goes, puts us aboard a glamorous ocean liner in the golden age of transatlantic travel, capturing a world where sophistication and mischief sail side by side. This classic number by Cole Porter reflects a moment in time when high society's rules were loosening, and the result was pure, joyous chaos. Nearly a century later, its spirit still feels fresh. Beneath the infectious melody lies something enduring, a celebration of freedom, humor, and the idea that in uncertain times, a little audacity can carry us a long way. In a world that never stops changing, Anything Goes reminds us that sometimes the best response is simply to embrace the ride. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Allison, and I'm one of the flautists. I chose to introduce our next piece, Big Band Classics, to commemorate my father. In his earlier days, he was a percussionist in dance bands in Grand Bend, Port Stanley, and London. And growing up, we were often listening to his big band albums. He was a Glenn Miller fan. Sharing his love of music and encouraging mine is a gift that continues to this day. Our piece, Big Band Classics, is a medley featuring our fabulous brass players and percussionists. You'll hear 3 golden oldies: Tuxedo Junction, Serenade in Blue, and In the Mood. As you know, Glenn Miller, many believe to be one of the most popular big band leader of all time. Tuxedo Junction was recorded by Glenn Miller and his orchestra in 1940, Serenade in Blue in 1942, and the third piece you'll hear in our medley, In the Mood, Glenn Miller's recording of this in 1939, was inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame. Now it's time. I encourage you to sit back, relax, tap your toes, and I hope you'll enjoy this music as much as my father and I.
you would be forgiven. If you thought at times that these folks were, they must be professional musicians the way they play some of this stuff. It's incredible, but no, they're just everyday people from all walks of lives playing. Don't they play well? That's what's so great, as Grant told us in his intro about the New Horizons program at Western, and there are New Horizons programs all over North America, so if you ever wanted to play an instrument, you never got the chance, check it out, their website is wonderful, or maybe you didn't play for 30 years and you'd like to play again, you were a star in high school, and then, life happened, check out New Horizons and you could be in a group like this. Now, when we build a program, we try to build in, of course, contrast. And this is certainly a contrast to the piece you were just listening to. This is Jeannie with the Light Brown Hair by Stephen Foster. And I'm going to read you a little bit about him. Very interesting life and some things that I certainly didn't know. First of all, if you've ever heard about Stephen Collins Foster, born in 1826, you might have thought that he was a folk musician. But no, he was actually, had a lot of training. So he found success as a songwriter despite lacking that sort of folk musician moniker. He was born into a middle-class family and was educated at home, writing his first songs for the members of a secret club, which met twice weekly at the Fosters' Pittsburgh home. Pittsburgh was a center for abolitionist activities during the American Civil War and earlier, although it is perhaps surprising, considering the subject of many of his songs, that Foster only once visited the Deep South. He wrote lots of songs about the southern United States, but he only visited there once. On his honeymoon in 1852. He was a meticulous worker and sometimes spent months perfecting the lyrics of a song. His first success was "Oh Susanna," and I'm sure many of us have heard that tune. And his popularity grew. As his popularity grew, I should say, he moved with his young family to New York to be near his publishers. Unfortunately, this was not a successful move, and Jane, his wife, and Marion, his daughter, moved back to Pittsburgh in 1854. Foster wrote Jeannie with the Light Brown Hair as a result of her continued absence. Despite the widespread success of songs such as My Old Kentucky Home, Beautiful Dreamer, and Jeannie, the Civil War interrupted Foster's burgeoning career, and he died a pauper at the early age of 37. So I wish I could end the story better than that for you, but that is reality. But anyway, he left us these wonderful songs, and Jeannie with the Light Brown Hair is beautiful.
need that microphone, Nancy Clark. Thank you.
Hello. Hi, I'm Nancy. I'm a member of the awesome B-flat clarinet section. It is my pleasure to introduce our next piece, Come Fly With Me, famously recorded by Frank Sinatra in 1958, composed by Sammy Cohen and James Van Hoosen, arranged for concert band by Paul Murtha. This tune captures the essence of a Count Basie big band style with biting brass and soaring saxophone sections. Come Fly With Me invites us to travel to far-off lands with a carefree swing. So sit back, relax, and get ready for takeoff.
Just a while ago on television, I think it came out a long time ago, but my wife and I were enjoying this wonderful series called Pan Am, about the glory days of Pan Am Airlines in the 60s. Did anybody happen to see it? If you think of that cool, hip, swinging 60s time, this music is really you're gonna love this.
Have you guys seen that show? It's really cool. Like this. 1, 2, 3, 4.
my name is Marianne, and I'm one of the flautists. And unfortunately, this song we are going to play is our last song. I know, it's so sad. But this song that we're going to play, I actually don't want to leave us just with the sadness. So I have a thing that everybody loves, which is a pop quiz. But I'm going to introduce the song first, and you'll understand. Because this final song is known as Disney at the Movies. Because think of your favorite Disney movie. And we're probably all thinking of a different movie, so we had to play pretty much every movie. And this is arranged by John Higgins and includes 14 different songs from Disney movies. So this is where the quiz is gonna go. I'm gonna yell out the song that we're gonna do, and then you have to think about which movie it's from. So I'll get the band to help with the first one. So Zippity Doodah is from Song of the South. A Dream is a Wish Your Heart Makes. Cinderella, yeah, there we go. Never Smile at a Crocodile. Peter Pan. We're beating you. Okay, how about this? This is an easy one. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Mary Poppins. Bare Necessities. Jungle Book. Under the Sea. Little Mermaid. Be Our Guest. Beauty and the Beast. And we will also be playing the titular song, Beauty and the Beast. A Whole New World. Aladdin, yes. And we will also be playing Friend Like Me. And then Circle of Life. Lion King, that was a quick one. And we're also going to play Can You Feel the Love Tonight and This Land. And we are ending with Colors of the Wind by Pocahontas, exactly. And as we play these 14 songs, I really want you to go and listen to how John Higgins goes and so wonderfully flows one song to another. If you blink, you might just miss it. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Marianne. Just before we play our last piece, please join me in thanking everybody here at Dundas Street United for hosting us this evening. We really appreciate it.
And thank you everyone for coming tonight. Thank you for the donations to Sakura House. They'll be thrilled. And Jim and I were talking, and he said this would be cool to do at Christmas, so we'll see what happens next. Thank you everybody. Safe travels home. Thanks.
I thought we might get another color.